Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.
It's time to get educated on your Second Amendment right. It's time to get locked and loaded with Gun Sports Radio. Your hosts, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey, will teach you everything there is to know about firearms, self-defense, and the laws that affect your American right to own and bear arms. Now, here's your host, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey.
All right, folks, welcome to Gun Sports Radio, the only gun show in Southern California that cares about you, your Second Amendment rights, and your freedom of speech. Don't let the bullies push you around. Stand tall. This segment is brought to you by the Gun Range San Diego, another company that believes in your Second Amendment rights and teaches you everything you want to know about guns, from entry level to full-time, heavy-duty sniper guys. They can deal with all of them because everybody that works there is super trained, really enjoys teaching, and loves guns. 7 days a week, 10 to 10. Check them out. The Gun Range San Diego, The Gun Range San Diego. And do us a favor and tell them you appreciate them supporting our show, especially if you like our show. Michael Schwartz in the house.
The one and only.
The big dog from San Diego County Gun Owners. If you have not joined San Diego County Gun Owners for a measly $10 a month, there's something wrong. You don't care about your Second Amendment rights.
You're not one of the cool kids.
You're not one of the cool kids. And you can get shirts and hats and all kinds of stuff. And he don't cheese out on these Hanes shirts. He gets really cool stuff, too. So, and if you can stump his nephew at the end of the show,
you might
get one. But we haven't gave, 2?
We've given 2.
Out of, 100 and something shows?
Yeah, something like that.
So what's up, brothers? Just you and I today. Lance, I think, finally made it to the East Coast.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's making his way. He's on the wagon train.
Was he heading back?
I think so.
I'm not
sure he is. Yeah, I know.
I asked him, I said, hey, did you get any? Because he went and ate at the Tucker automobile, like a restaurant thing. So I said, hey, are there any car shirts there? I'll buy. And I haven't heard from him since. So now I'm all depressed.
Well, he missed a big thing on Friday.
Yeah, tell us about that. Man, it was wild.
It was all over the news. They got a lot of good coverage.
Not just KUSI.
Yeah, not just KUSI, Channel 8. Basically everybody. Fox, ABC, NBC,
now,
CBS.
what prompted that? What prompted it? What was the reason they covered you?
I believe, well, first off, we reached out to him and said, look, this is what we're doing.
And what were you doing?
It's an initiative to stop rape and domestic violence and sexual assault in San Diego by helping women get a firearm.
And protect themselves,
get the training they need, and get a CCW. But we actually have on the line, she calling?
We have 2 people.
Okay, good. Wendy is here to talk about our new hashtag #NotMeSD initiative.
I like that. Hi, Wendy. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Just living the dream. How about you?
Fantastic.
So for those who don't know Wendy,
for the warm weather.
Yeah, no kidding.
Those who don't know Wendy, which are very few, everybody knows Wendy. Wendy is she works for San Diego County Gun Owners, and she is our #NotMeSD project coordinator, and she's been putting everything together. She was a speaker at the press conference, and I asked her to come on and talk about it. So, Wendy, tell everybody about #NotMeSD.
Yeah, what is that?
Sure. So it's a program where women can apply to get help with all of the processes that are involved in purchasing a gun, getting training, and applying for their CCW. So most women just have no idea where to start or where to go. So we will assign them an ambassador who will answer all of their questions, refer them to the appropriate people. So we have, a list of all of the gun shops in the county, a list of our preferred trainers. We have resources available to help them apply for their CCW. So it's a fantastic one-on-one program to help women take that step towards becoming a gun owner.
And at the press conference, you were one of the speakers at the press conference. You did a fantastic job. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Sharing your story and talking about the program. Who were the other speakers at the press conference Friday?
Well, we had the beautiful Mrs. Laura Schwartz. She did a fantastic job introducing the initiative and introducing all of our speakers. We also had Jackie Atkinson, who gave us a fantastic message about how San Diego County gun owners isn't trying to speak for women, but they're trying to speak to women and, trying to reach them and help them take a part of their journey if it involves firearms.
And Laura's got a CCW holder, gun enthusiast. Jackie is a veteran. Well, she's actually a current military. Reservist, yep. Ran for Congress a couple years ago. Enthusiast. And then, of course, yourself, you are a certified instructor. NRA certified, and you're the chapter leader for Well-Armed Women here in San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I just wanted to tell everybody whoever everybody else was. So who are the other speaker?
We also had Monica Fay, who's very involved in politics. She was our Spanish speaker to help us reach out to folks who maybe don't speak English and only speak Spanish. Yep. And we also had a fantastic speech from Jill Bartow, who is on the Cajon Valley School Board, and she shared her personal story about being raped when she was 14, and it just touched everyone. I think everybody had tears in their eyes. So it was a great moment.
I thought she did really, really well. She's a school board member out in Cajon Valley, like you said, and that was the first time, she told me later, that was the first time she's ever spoken publicly about what she's gone through, and she really couldn't wait. She was really happy to hear about our initiative and came to the press conference. And how do you think the press conference went, Wendy?
Well, considering we've gotten over 100 responses in just about 2 days, I think it went amazing.
Within the first 2 days, we got over 100 women who went to Not Me SD, or went to our website /NotMeSD and filled out a questionnaire and said, "Yep, I want to be a part of this program."
Wow!
Over 100 women in the first 2 days.
Wow, well, I think more people that find out about it will jump on it, don't you think, Wendy?
Yes, I think we're going to continue going at the rate we're going, and we're definitely making sure everybody's going to get taken care of. We're, setting up our ambassador program and starting to assign people right away. So we'll get this going.
So tell folks what an ambassador is.
An ambassador is somebody to help them guide through whichever one of the options that the applicant would like. So to either help them with the process of buying a gun, just answer questions. Most people don't know about things like our roster of handguns certified for sale, or what is a 10-day wait period? What documents do I need in order to purchase a firearm? So they'll help answer questions like that. They'll figure out what kind of training that the applicant would like, whether it's a beginner course or a ladies course, or I need something specific to concealed carrying. Do you want a female trainer, a male trainer, group setting, individual setting, all of those things. And then, of course, if they would like to apply for a CCW, they will help them through that process as well.
So this whole program was designed by women. Mostly, a lot of women had a little something to do with it, but Barb and Judy out there really wrote the program, went through the verbiage and everything. Wendy is took the baton and is sprinting with it, and she's really kind of fleshing out the nuts and bolts of exactly what happens. But if you're a woman and you want to know more, or actually take the steps of buying a firearm, know more about training, or actually take training and get your CCW and write in, then you actually get paired up with an ambassador who's also a woman, and it's more than just a concierge. They actually hold your hand, stand side by side with you,
answer all the questions.
Yep, and get you to the right people so that you can do whatever it is that you feel you'd like to do.
So, Wendy, I'm sure if there's any women's groups out there that would like you to come and speak, what would be the easiest way to get a hold of you?
So you can contact us at our email address that we've created just for this program. It's notmesd@sdcgo.org. That SDCGO stands for San Diego County Gun Owners. Mm-hmm. So you could check out our website. You can apply to be a part of the program there. You can also email us if you'd like to be an ambassador. It's a few hours per applicant. You just basically doing what you do for a friend. We're just trying to make sure everybody has that friend that they need to start this process.
Well, it seems to me like this could be something that could be Not Me Orange County. Yep. It could be Not Me San Diego or San Francisco.
Yep.
Is that kind of the goal?
I would love to see that. I think everywhere there are women who just have no idea where to start.
Right.
You can see from the overwhelming response that we've gotten so far that there are lots of low-hanging fruit that people really want to do it. They just don't know how to start. So, I would love to see it in other cities.
All right, cool. Well, Wendy, thank you very much. Thank you for everything you do, and good luck.
Great job, Wendy.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. We're going to take a quick break, folks. When we come back, a whole lot more right here on FM 96.1 AM 1170. The Answer. Folks, welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio right here on FM 96.1 AM 1170. The Answer. I'm Dave, and that's Michael Schwartz in the house. Lance is out on a road trip. Hey, folks, have you been dragging your feet, making your AR rifle California legal in recognition of the new gun laws? Well, if you want your AR to have a pistol grip, telescoping stock, foregrip, and still have a detachable magazine, check out Cali Key. Whether you're buying a new AR or need to make your current AR compliant, Cali Key is a cost-effective, easy solution that will allow you to keep your AR compliant and future-proof your AR from all the horrible California laws. Keep your entire AR collection intact by using Cali Key. Go to CaliKey.com, KALIKEY.com. Also, do you or any of your family members have a taser, pepper spray, or a weapon and for personal protection? What would you do if you got pulled over? Well, who's going to pay the bail? Who's going to pay for all the lawyer expenses? Well, for $10 a month, actually less than $10 a month, you can hook up with Firearms Legal Protection. They will give you 24-hour a day, 7-day a week legal representation. All you have to do is go to firearmslegal.com, throw $10 at them, and you are good to go. That's $10 a month. Or you can call it 469-310-9100. And our next guest, John Dillon, could be one of the lawyers you're assigned to. That's why we have him on. Go to Gatsky, Dillon & Balance, LLP, for the best law firm in Southern California, especially when it comes to guns. CAFirearmsLaw.com, CAFirearmsLaw.com, or you can call them at 760-431-9501, 760-431-9501. Talk to John Dillon, just like we're going to do right now. How you doing, bud?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Oh, not bad. What are you up to?
Well, it's been a busy weekend, that's for sure. For those in the know, there was a federal district court order that came out on Friday that has sent shockwaves through the firearm industry, especially in California. And I'm sure Mike knows all about this. I don't know, Dave, if you've heard anything.
No, not me.
Okay. So what I'm talking about is the judge's order in Duncan v. Becerra. This is a lawsuit that was challenging, essentially Prop 63. What was that, passed 2 years ago now? It expanded some of the prohibitions on what California terms high-capacity magazines in California. So for years, it's been unlawful to buy, sell, transfer, or just in general acquire high-capacity magazines in California, and that has always been under Penal Code 32310. Now, Prop 63, in the original prohibition on high-capacity magazines, they grandfathered in high-capacity magazines that were purchased legally, and to where, it stated that those were still lawful to own, possess, and shoot with. Now, with the passing of Prop 63, that prohibited the possession of those once grandfathered magazines. So what it did is it expanded a portion of Penal Code 32310. And this law was challenged in Duncan v. Becerra. And on Friday, the judge of court, Judge Benitez, issued an order granting the plaintiffs, and I believe is the NRA, who's the lead plaintiff on that?
Yeah, it was, CRPA, but through NRA,
CRPA, yeah. Exactly, CRPA through NRA. And, this is Michelle Associates, and I do have to put this out there. Congratulations. The judge granted the plaintiff's motion for summary judgment, and, essentially ruled the law to be unconstitutional. So I'll go over kind of a big summary of the order. First of all, this order is approximately 86 pages long. So it is an incredibly detailed, well thought out, and well-written order. This is not just a quick 2-sentence order that, changes a major law.
It's a high-capacity order.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. The order starts off with individual liberty and freedom are not outmoded concepts. I think that was a great first line of this thing. But in this 86-page order, Judge Benitez does an outstanding job in describing the usefulness of high-capacity magazines in the need for self-defense. And he quotes individual instances in which people needed more than 10 rounds or more than 5 rounds in order to defend themselves. He also discusses the arbitrary number of 10 rounds being the limit. He brings up the fact that the state argues that these magazines are uniquely dangerous in that they allow for people to shoot more rounds without reloading. But he makes the very good point that you could say that for 9-round magazines, for 8-round magazines, for 7-round magazines, for 2-round magazines. You could always say that allowing the person to have one more round will make it uniquely more dangerous, and it defeats any logic you might think there is to that argument. And I agree with that. He details the fact that these are considered, they fall under the definition of common arms, as cited in D.C. v. Heller. These things are widely used across the country and were widely used in California until California decided to prohibit them. And so there's not even an argument that these are long-standing prohibitions on firearms in California. The high-capacity limits.
And it's very unique to California. I think there are maybe not even a handful of other states that have anything similar. I mean, it's very unique to California, right?
Are you surprised?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's very unique. The other places you'll see is New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts maybe has them. But of course, the very Democratic, very liberal, very anti-gun states are the only ones that have these. Most people don't even understand. If you come from any other free state, you have no idea what a 10-round magazine is. You've never seen one before, because the gun industry had to start making 10-round magazines in order to sell firearms to California. So they weren't made before that.
Yeah. So John, I hate to interrupt, but I just want to make sure we get a couple of things in, and I know you have to be real careful. I actually spent a couple days on this trying to figure out what could and couldn't be said about this thing. But I just want to ask the questions that I know everybody is asking and thinking. So can Californians go buy standard capacity magazines, meaning magazines that hold more than 10 rounds? Can they go buy them legally right now?
So in the order, and what the order concludes with, and I'm quoting this, the judge states that California Penal Code 32310 is hereby declared unconstitutional in its entirety and shall be enjoined. That's some very strong language, and what I'll mimic what Chuck has said. Chuck Michelle has said is his order appears to go much farther beyond the issue of just possession. And when you read, unconstitutional in its entirety, you would think that would eliminate the entirety of Penal Code 32310. So I think there's a sound legal argument for that, and the hesitation I have is obviously the state and the DOJ are not happy about this, and I believe people are predicting that we're going to hear some sort of DOJ, Department of Justice response to this order even as early as tomorrow morning.
So that's the next. That's
they're interpreting it.
Okay, but if I want to go buy one right now, can I go buy one?
These are the tough questions. There is a sound legal argument that you could.
There are shops that are selling them.
Yeah, I was going to say, but is there a shop?
I'll say this. There are shops selling them. There are out-of-state retailers offering high-classy magazines for sale into the state. There's been nothing from the state as of yet. My hesitation comes from, obviously, I don't think the DOJ is just going to lay down, not do anything with this order.
Well, what could they do?
They may interpret it a different way, which there will possibly be another legal battle if that happens. Well, and the other thing is, very likely the state could go and appeal this order and request a stay of the order, which, if that happens, and if it's granted, then Judge Benitez's orders would basically be frozen, and it wouldn't be law anymore. And so people need to be aware of if they are buying and selling these things, they need to be aware that these orders can go through at any moment, and if a stay is issued on the order, all of that stuff needs to stop immediately if it's going on. So people need to be careful. It'd probably be best to wait and see.
Okay, so if that happens, if they decide, how quickly could that happen? How quickly could the Attorney General go to a court and get a stay placed on Judge Benitez's orders? Is that something that could happen at 9 a.m. on Monday, or is that something that typically takes a week, or what are we looking at?
I believe the courts are closed tomorrow now. So, might get something first thing Tuesday morning even. I'm sure the lawyers at the DOJ, they're very aware of this order. They've probably seen it, and they've probably been reviewing it all weekend, just like every other person has this whole weekend.
And the judge is in jail as we speak, right? The judge is in jail as we speak.
No, the judge is not in risk of anything. In fact, he just got a lot of people that are now big fans of him in the state of California and everywhere else. But yes, I'll just say it. The words and the language this judge uses in its very detailed order seem to make the entirety of the Penal Code section unconstitutional. So
cool.
There is that. People see what the DOJ says, and it might be best from a liability standpoint to see how the DOJ is going to react.
Right. Okay. Oh, I can't wait. We should have a viewing party.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, John,
thanks, John.
Thank you very much, folks. If you need John Dillon in any way, shape, or form, all you got to do is go to cafirearmslaw.com, cafirearmslaw.com. You can ask any question you like. He'll be more than happy to help you out because he is truly here for you. John, thanks a lot. Have fun. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. This is Gun Sports Radio. I'm Dave. He's Mike. And this is FM 96.1, AM 1170, The Answer. folks. Welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio right here on FM 96.1, AM 1170. The Answer. Hey, folks. Have you been dragging your feet about getting your AR California legal? Well, I'll tell you what. You need to go hook up with Cali Key, because they've got a part for your AR that'll get you totally compliant and avoid all those future AR laws that are coming down the pipe. That's Cali Key, KALIKEY.com. Okay, this segment is brought to you by the Gun Range San Diego. We got Casey on the line. He's at 7853 Balboa Avenue, working his fingers to the bone, 10 to 10, 7 days a week, never gets a day off, loves everything he does. Go to thegunrangesandiego.com. You can find out all the great benefits and everything they sell. They've got a gunsmith there. It's a one-stop shop. And if you're lucky, you might meet Casey. How you doing, bud?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Living the dream.
Yeah, pretty exciting couple of days for gun owners in California, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember waking up and seeing the news bulletin. I was like, dreaming still? I thought I was still partially asleep. But no, it's, we're exciting, but here at the gun range, we're still waiting. We're not selling magazines yet. We have our order ready to go. We're just going to wait a couple days and see exactly what comes out of it when Tuesday rolls around. Just because we know how California is, we know how the DOJ is. They are some vindictive people. Mm-hmm. And once this went through, the last thing we want to do is order 600 mags, and then they're like, nope, we're appealing this. It's on throws, and we're sitting here on 600 mags that can't really do anything with. So we're holding off for the moment, and then once it goes through and everything's settled and it's cut into stone, then we'll be going to it. And it's going to be, if it stays like this, it is going to be a game changer.
Isn't it funny, the DOJ, you would think, would support the public, but yet they're against the public?
You would think, but California is this whole different beast.
Isn't that amazing?
We get a lot of people from a lot of military folks from other states and stuff, and they get poor souls get stationed out here, and they're like, "Oh, can I bring my gun in?" I'm like, no, because it's this, and that. They're like, "Oh, that's stupid." I'm like, "Yeah." So let me try and explain the laws to you, and I'll try and explain it to them. They're like, "That's even stupider." I'm like, "Yep, welcome to California."
Yeah, no kidding.
It's always fun. But we're keeping busy here. We actually we just replaced our entire fleet of rental guns. So Saturday and Sunday we sold, I think it was like 60-something firearms, and they went. We had a Benelli M4 went for $800. Kel-Tec KSG for $450. We sold everything.
What?
Oh, now Mikey's all upset you didn't call him ahead of time. Do you auction? Do you auction them off? Do you guys auction them off, or do you put prices on?
Last week.
Yeah,
no, we put prices on them. We put prices on them, put them on the sales side, and it was madness. And I didn't come in and get any. I had a couple of days off, so I was enjoying it. But then I come in and I'm just fixing, going through all the paperwork again. I'm like, oh man, I'm kind of glad I wasn't here, because you have like 2 or 3 sale guys with 60 people lined up trying to buy these guns. It is chaos, but we got it done.
Well, that's awesome, man. So when you selling the next fleet tomorrow?
Yeah, I know, right? No, we got rid of a bunch of those ones. We have a bunch of new guns coming in. We got some HKs, a couple new SNs. We're just getting a bunch of new guns for people to check out, which is always fun. We've got a couple new rifles up there. We're doing some retro builds, so we have a good old M16A2 up there, and we're going to do an A1. We're just doing all sorts of fun stuff here.
Wow.
Revamping the whole range side, which is great.
Have you seen that Midway is selling? That seems to be kind of a thing right now, as they're going back to. Yeah. There's a couple of they're selling like the old triangular hand guards, like the Vietnam era.
Yep. Midway, Brownells are doing them. They call them their
Brownells.
Series.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love the retro ones. We're going to do an M16A1. They're just iconic guns. You see it, you're like, I want to shoot that. To have iron sights on it playing, yeah, but it's just one of those iconic firearms that we're doing. So we're looking at those. We got a couple new AKs coming out, a couple new 9mm sub guns. So it's keeping pretty busy, But yeah, doing those retro builds, I love them. I'm going to do one soon just because it's just fun. I think I'm going to do a Black Hawk Down version.
Yeah. So are you going to have anything like an April Fool's Day special tomorrow?
Not necessarily for that one. I don't want to necessarily that'd be a great April Fool's. Hey, we're selling mags. Psych.
Yeah. You're not getting a mag.
Oh, God, that'd be terrible if this whole thing was an April Fool's Day ruse.
I know. By the way, Mike, it's Cesar Chavez Day tomorrow.
Oh, that's what they're called? Oh, okay.
Well, because John Dillon said all the courts are closed tomorrow. And I thought, geez.
Yeah. That's
well,
right.
I thought, okay, so they shut all the courts down because of April Fool's Day? That works.
Look at that.
But he says
any excuse for them not to work,
Oh, yeah, they need their days off. It's tough being in the government.
Ain't that truth? Yeah, it's going to be interesting how these next few days are going to unfold. But
so
we're sitting here crossing our fingers.
Before we get off the subject of the retro stuff, the builds that you guys are going to do, are there where are you getting the handle? The receivers with the handle built in, or are you guys just doing the rail with the one?
So on the A2 we did the flat top with the rail because we're doing that one, and then we're going to turn it into an M16A4 build when we want to change it up. So that M16 is going to be pretty much A2 to A4, and then we're going to do an A1 build, which will have the fixed receiver on the fixed carry handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get fun with it. We have enough low receivers laying around here that we're just going to start piecing stuff together. And we've been going through Brownells, but our big distributor, we go through Aero Precision. They make some excellent quality AR, so those are the guys that we go to. That's where we got our A2 uppers from Aero Precision. They did a darn good job on it.
Yeah, it was about 6-7 years ago, my mom, who at the time was 71 or something like that, she wanted an AR. But, yeah,
really?
Yeah, she wanted an AR. And my dad was like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And he wanted, like, the retro look because, that's his era. He remembered most of his adult life. That's what an AR looked like. And I, kind of looked around. I couldn't, this is 6-7 years ago, I couldn't find a receiver that had the built-in carry handle anymore. Yeah. They were all flat tops. So I guess they're somebody's doing some kind of special run, I guess, just kind of for the retro part of it.
That's kind of what they're doing. You can find them, but you're thinking like the past 5 to 10 years. A lot of it was a flat top because everything went to flat top, so you can do optics.
Right.
10 to 15 years ago, it was all either fixed sights on it, iron sights. We really didn't have a selection of optics. Looking back to OIF and the Iraq War and Afghan. What they did is they had M16A2s with fixed carry handles, and they'd mount the red dots on top or kind of on the forward rail. They made do, and then they're like, chop those handguards off and let's just put a rail on there. And so that's what I had in the Marine Corps. I had the carry handle. I carried it with me just in case my optic went down. Me personally, I love iron sights. That's what I trained on. I am deadly accurate with my iron sights. But again, ease of use with red dots and optics are just also fun. But
I remember they had.
We have a.
They have that like slanted mount. There's that one hole in the carry handle, the built-in carry handle.
Yep.
There's that one hole, and somebody was making like kind of a because the problem is it's got that slant on the carry handle. Yep. Somebody was making something that attached to that and leveled it out.
Yeah, they made it basically a little rail mount that went in there. It kind of filled that void.
Yeah, and you can actually, I think you can because I think the special ops guys in the helicopter were using like an aim point on their I don't know. I'd have to kind of go back and look. Somebody was using a red dot.
They use aim points, red dots, short dots. Aim point when they first came out, I can't remember the exact model of it, but it was a longer tube, so it looks like your short dot kind of optic, but it was a red dot because that's how the technology was. And then everything started getting smaller, and aim point was one of the original ones that started that, And then, the aim point models, Comp 1s, Comp 2s, and whatnot. So that's where you'll see a lot of them.
And you were in the Marine Corps, right?
I was.
Okay, so do you mind? When did you go in?
I was into 2010 to 2014, and so I was in boot camp. I trained with iron sights, and then after that, a few years, they went over to the RCOs or ACOGs, is what everybody else calls them. And so that's what I had on mine for a while was an ACOG, and I liked it. It was a decent object. There was other ones out there, but in the Marine Corps, we kind of got everybody's hand-me-downs. So it was, we did what we could. But now the Marine Corps got revamped, so now they're all getting IARs and the Mod 38. They're getting awesome, great guns in there. And I'm just sitting back here like, man, I wish I had those when I was in.
So if you're doing the retro build and someone out there's listening and they're going, man, that'd be cool. I want a Vietnam era looking. AR. What does that mean that you guys are doing the retro build? You could actually, people are going to be able to walk in and it's hanging on the wall, or is that custom order? Yeah. How does that work?
No. So the retro build, you can actually buy the uppers complete.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
you can just go. You can go on Brownells, you can go on Aero Precision, and you just look up their retro build lines, and you'll literally find M16A1 complete upper. You slap it on your lower, and boom.
Well, you can help them, though, right?
Yeah, but you can help people do
absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
What kind of money we talk? What kind of money we talking about?
Those uppers complete, I think they're going for like $475 to $500 around there.
And a complete retro AR.
Complete upper. Yep. As long as you have your lower, you're good. You just slap it on and go.
Well, what if you don't have a lower?
Well, then you have to buy one from us.
And what
we
is
have
that?
some really nice lowers in here.
And what kind of money is that?
Those go from $99 to $129 for Aero Precisions. We have a couple spikes. Spike Tacticals, they have a lot of cool lowers that have a bunch of different engravings. So I have one in here that has a unicorn on it. It's interesting.
Mike wants that. Is it pink?
It's very interesting.
Is it pink?
No, this one is black, but you can get them with the unicorn highlighted in different colors, and it has like a little rainbow behind it.
See, Dave, it's a black unicorn. It's a manly unicorn.
I like that, man.
What are you laughing at?
So what is a complete retro AR run, already fixed, ready to go for people that don't like working or cleaning them?
You look at lower with lower parts kit, about $250, $300 upper. So you're looking about anywhere from $650 to $700, depending on who you're finding it through and whatnot. So it's not the worst,
No, that's
it's
a great deal.
AR.
I was thinking 15 myself. That was
no, absolutely not. No. 15, you're going to like a Daniel Defense and LWRC. I have an LWRC because
of course you.
I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci like that.
Of course you are.
Gucci.
All right, Mr. Gucci. Go. I know there's some Lance Pelkey guns you need to go clean, so we're going to let you take off.
I got them back there.
I know you do, and we'll be talking to you next week. Stay safe, and folks, go down and check out the new guns that are at Gun Sports Radio in their shooting library. You will be forever thrilled. Thanks, bud. Talk to you down the road.
No problem, guys. Have a good one.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We've got the kid coming up next, Sam the Gunman. He's not coming on?
He may. We actually have a really special interview coming up. You guys, CCW fans, are not going to want to miss this.
Well, I got two people sitting on the line, so it may be him.
Yep.
Right here on Gun Sports Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170. The Answer. Folks, welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio. I'm Dave. Michael Schwartz in the house. And Lance Pelkey is on the road. FM 96.1 AM 1170. The Answer. Hey, do you or your family have a taser, pepper spray, firearm, or other personal protection? Well, guess what? You need protection. Where are you going to get it? For $10 a month. Less than $10 a month. Well, Firearms Legal Protection is where you need to be. 844-357-9400 or firearmslegal.com. They'll take care of all of your legal issues, whether it's bail, lawyer fees, you name it, they got it. They'll take care of you. Go to firearmslegal.com. Make sure you mention you heard it right here on Gun Sports Radio. They will appreciate it. All righty, we've got a special guest on the line. Who we got there, Mike?
So on last Thursday, we had a little spring barbecue at Scott Vincent's house. Scott's one of our board members. He also owns the Coldwell Banker down in Bonita. Great guy, founding board member, fantastic guy. And one of our members, Marco, came up to me and he said, "Hey, I want you to know." I said, we've been playing phone tag, and I apologize for that. He goes, "No, it's okay." He said, "I wanted to call you. You saved my life." Really? And he told me the story, and I said, "All right, we gotta
get him on air.
We gotta get him on air. We gotta tell the story." Marco, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing, man?
Hello. I'm doing great.
Awesome. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for your support. Marco is an extremely active member of San Diego County Gun Owners, and but it was about a year ago you went through the CCW process.
Towards the end of the year, it'll be about half a year now. But
6-8 months, something like that. And it was a little bumpy, right? I mean, when you were going through.
Yes, it was. They said I was too young, to be honest.
Yeah. So they actually said, "You're too young." How old are you, Mark?
How old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
Yeah, but you can go to war, but you can't have a CCW.
Right. So I escalated that, and you got the rest of the process was not bumpy, and they aren't doing that. But you did get some odd information, but we got you through the process, and you got your CCW, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
And so you came up to me on Thursday and said, you told me a story. So tell me what you...
tell us a story.
Tell us the story. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right, cool. So basically, this was about a few weeks ago. I was minding my own business, trying to start a business. I was selling waters and sodas on 8th Street in Chula Vista. And this homeless guy comes up to me, and he's like, I'm going to get a bunch of my friends, and we're going to come, and we're going to kill you. And I thought nothing of it. I was like, all right, he's probably drugged out of his mind.
Wow.
He's up to no good, whatever. And he just kept walking away. Probably like 10, 15 minutes later, one of his buddies comes. I'm assuming it was one of his buddies, but he walks towards me, and he keeps walking towards me, like kind of like mean-mugging me as he's walking towards me. He reaches his hand in his pocket, gets closer and closer, then pulls something out, and by this time, I'm kind of reaching for my firearm. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
And then he had something behind him. He, like, whatever he was trying to stab me with, he had it behind him. He lunged at me, and when he did so, I stepped back, drew my firearm, and, then I got arrested after that.
Yeah, but I bet he pooped his pants first. What do you want to bet?
Oh, man, no. So he his facial expression, like, turned white. Like, he just paled like a ghost, started walking backwards. He still had whatever it was in his hand. I still don't know what it was. I didn't even see it. And he just started walking backwards, kept walking away. And then after that whole ordeal, he kind of just disappeared. And luckily, there was a off-duty law enforcement officer who saw the whole thing, explained it to the cops when the cops showed up, and they just let me go.
Who called the cops?
The off-duty law enforcement officer.
So he just happened to be hanging out, and he saw the whole thing.
Wow.
Right.
Yep, he saw the whole thing, and then he's like, "Hey, go over there, stay away from the firearm." And I was like, "All right, yep, whatever you say."
Whatever you say. Yeah.
So Chula Vista PD showed up, and what exactly did they do? What did they say, and what did they do?
So they just showed up. First thing they did was put me in handcuffs and throw me in the back of the car. And then they got the guy's story and the off-duty law enforcement officer. And then they came over to me, and I broke the number one rule, which is don't talk to the cops.
Yeah.
I was so nervous, And I was like, okay, this is what happened. This guy came at me. He lunged at me, and I threw my firearm. And they're like, oh, dang, really? And then they kind of just had me explain it. And then they're like, okay, well, it seems pretty self-defense, and the off-duty officer's story matches yours. So we're just going to wait for the supervisor. He's going to come out here. He's going to let you go.
So
this whole time I'm still in handcuffs.
The off-duty cop, he saw the whole thing, and his story corroborated everything that you said happened. Was the other guy still there? The guy that lunged at you with whatever he was still there? They found him?
Nope, he was gone. I don't know what happened to him. He just, the second I drew my firearm, he made like a ghost and disappeared.
Yeah, I would too.
So he just like, oh, yeah, bye. But it was funny because when he was walking towards me, I could kind of hear him mumbling, and it kind of said, like, oh, you think you're all tough and all that, man. And he comes at me, lunges at me with a knife. And then I'm like, okay, what are you doing?
Brought a knife to a gunfight's what he did.
What happened?
I said he brought a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, that's literally exactly what he did right there.
How did that make you feel, Marco?
Man.
What were you feeling inside when this guy lunged at you, or after you realized what happened? How'd that make you feel?
It was pretty scary, man. Really scary. I didn't even know. It's just like I stopped thinking, and it just all came naturally. I like drew my firearm and I said, "Get away! Like back away!
Right?
Don't get near me." But I'm just glad that I, go through the proper steps, and I like train like as much as I can, and I just practice drawing and dry firing and everything else. So it's like I was prepared for the worst. Wow. And it's just unfortunate that the worst almost happened,
Well, the good thing in it, everybody down in that area, now they know you are packing, so they're going to stay a little away from you and leave you alone.
All right. Hopefully, man. I don't know, because some people still,
I know.
Well, one of the things that doesn't get talked about enough when this whole debate with the gun grabbers and the folks that are, pro self-protection is that there have been a number of studies, and including, FBI compiles numbers. John Lott is an economist. He compiles numbers. The Florida State University, they compile numbers. And depending on how you define it, there are tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of times per year in America where somebody uses a gun to defend themselves. and very few. Depending on how you define it. You know, it's as many as 2 million. It's as little as about 100,000.
Right.
But most of the time, they don't actually pull the trigger. They did exactly what Marco did, where they pull it. They pull the gun because they're afraid for their life,
right.
And then the threat stops,
and then
they don't have.
And
to,
they stop. Well, I don't know if you heard in El Cajon, this guy, thug, was breaking into this guy's car, and an off-duty security guard got involved. The owner came out. They got into an altercation. He shot the guy.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he's going to get off.
Yeah, I did. I'm interested to see all the details.
Yeah, I'm interested to see all the details too. Well, dude, we're so glad you did fine and you made it, and we appreciate all your support with San Diego County gun owners. You're the man.
Yeah, no, Mike, you left up the best part. 10-ring member.
That's right.
10-ring member. That's even better.
He is by far our youngest 10-ring member, and
you give him 2.
Extremely dedicated, man. Marco, I really appreciate you. I'm so glad you're safe. I'm so glad you're able to defend yourself.
And keep telling that story, my man. Keep telling that story.
Yeah.
I do. I just thank Mike because, to be honest, if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have been possible to get a CCW in the first place.
Well, there's that, too, and so heaven forbid if something would have happened the other way around. Well, good luck, and thank you very much, and I'll see you at the gun prom, right?
And every weekend you're out there selling tacos, right, on H Street?
Oh, no. So now I started my business. It expanded from waters and sodas to tacos, and I do this back home right out of my backyard.
Okay.
So it's over here, and the cross streets are Ocean View and 30th Street. There's a parking lot, and then you can see my house, and I have a sign that says tacos and everything. If y'all ever want to just come out and get some tacos, I'm right here.
I'm going to be there next week.
Homemade tacos? What kind? Carnitas?
They're carne asada, chicken, and adobada.
Now I'm hungry.
I know. Let's go, man.
Let's do it.
You and I gotta.
We gotta do it. Road trip.
Yeah,
all right, buddy.
Funny story. A little bit off topic from the guns. I started this business, taco business, just by selling waters and sodas. Kind of like what I was doing when this whole ordeal happened.
Wow.
Good job, Marco.
Good job, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Take care.
No, thanks for having me.
All right, our pleasure. Well, we didn't have room for the gun guy.
Yeah, for Stump My Nephew, but we will next week.
We'll catch him next weekend, but I'm sure he enjoyed listening to the show.
I hope he did. Folks,
he's still on the line. Hey, folks, we really, really want to thank our sponsors, the San Diego County Gun Owners, the Gun Range San Diego, Gatsky, Dillon and Balance, Firearms Legal, Cali Key, and, of course, we want to thank Hannah, our board op. Without her, we would be totally in the dark. So you all stay safe. Get your CCW. Don't let anybody take advantage of you. You deserve your Second Amendment rights. We're out of here. Back next week. Be safe. Rubber side down. Shiny side up. This is FM 96.1, AM 1170. The Answer.
Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.